Hello and welcome to episode 21 of the Cranky Geezer. Today I'm going to talk about the U.S. Cannabis Cup that was held here in Denver, Colorado on April 20th and 21st. I only went on Sunday the 21st, and originally I intended to do a review of the vendors, interviewing vendors and talking to them about high CBD products and medicinal products, and just checking out the video and doing some footage. After spending about 5 hours there, my ability to actually interview anybody and actually do anything at all was hindered horribly by the fact of how crowded the venue was. So this discussion is going to go less of a review of the cup versus a criticism of what the cup, how it was handled. The crush of people made it clear that the event was seriously oversold. So this criticism I'm going to put into place of pros and cons, simple as that. So let's start with the pros. I got to say there was extensive vendor variety. You had glassware vendors, pipes, all sorts of different things. The humidipacks, the hemp wicks, they were all there representing themselves. Also, a lot of industrial stuff for the actual commercial production. You know, the automated trimmers seem to be big now. And for the retail customer, t-shirts and all the other stuff. So there was quite a few vendors, a lot of variety, I'll give you that. I liked the venue, the Exto Event Center. I thought it was a good location and a nice place. But, and in the cons, I'll give you what the but was there. Also, I liked the staff. The staff that they did have was generally, with one exception, professional and courteous. So that's about all the pros I can give you right now. So let's move on to the cons. Number one was entry bottleneck. They had 2 entrances for the cup and quite a few people waiting to get in. We arrived on Sunday about 10 minutes before noon when it opened, and it took about 70 minutes, 75 minutes to actually get into the cup. Waiting in line, and it was fairly slow going. And talking to people in line, I found out that we are actually, quote, lucky, unquote, because on Sunday people waited up to 3 to 4 hours to get in. I guess they only had 1 line on Saturday. So to give them some credit, they adapted and added 2 lines, but still, over an hour to wait to get in is a very frustrating thing, and it takes time away from the actual event for you. Number 2 con would be that it was, again, seriously oversold. The aisles were packed to the point where it was extremely difficult to talk to anybody. People were bumping into you, the noise, people standing, within, a foot of you talking. I mean, it was elbow to elbow anywhere you went. It wasn't quite as bad in the red card medical area, but again, it was still uncomfortable. Also, a strange thing was that the medicated area was inside a building, so it was very smoky, not surprising, because they were giving away free dabs, free hits, etc. But it seemed like they could have put that part outside and put the vendors on the inside building in the warehouse that they were using. It could have been, now to be fair, it could have been an issue with legal issues. They couldn't do it outside, even though the entire venue was blocked off by fencing and tents. It could have been an issue where they couldn't have done it outside, but I think if they could have, that would have been much better, so you'd get more fresh air, because it was very funky in the medical area. Going on with the crowded, the outdoor, another thing is the outdoor aisles. There was 2 buildings and an outdoor area with where the food and a lot of the vendors were. And the aisles were designed in a cross pattern, but like most flea markets or any type of outdoor venue like this, you have aisles all the way around in like a grid instead of just a cross. But these aisles were packed, and you'd go down one aisle and it would dead end, so you'd have to work your way back. So it just caused this huge crush of people in each one of the aisles, which made it almost impossible to enjoy it at all. I feel I'm being conservative saying that High Times could have sold 75% of the tickets that they did, and it still would have been a quite crowded event. It was definitely packed to the gills. And I'm going to run some footage here. I just did a grid of 4 different shots I did. I eventually gave up trying to do any video, but I just did, right here, I just do some video. You can show that the huge number of people in the area, it was just elbow to elbow and almost, again, impossible to do anything. So run this for a little while and let you look at it. Alright, the next thing I'd like to talk about was that it was understaffed and there was bad signage. Where are the restrooms? No signs for that. Understaffed comes back to the bottleneck of entranceway. They could have used 4 entrances into the place, and they only had 2. Trash removal, every trash can I walked by was overflowing to the gills, and was very difficult to deal with. I asked one person at the High Times booth where the medical area was, and this is the one incident where I didn't have very good experience with the staff. She just pointed to the map and said, "It's on there, I don't know where it is," and she didn't even pretend to try to help. She just said, "Just use the map." I mean, she's at a High Times staff, and she couldn't point to me where the medicated area was. There was really no sign showing you where it was, but the map was there, so we eventually got around. But again, just overall, not a very good feeling there. The other staff, pretty courteous. Another problem I had was the food and water, access to food and water and pricing of that. If you prohibit bringing food and drink into your event, you damn well better provide easy access to water. Geezer 2.0, my kid, had to wait in line 45 minutes to get water, and then we got some food at the same time, but it took 45 minutes just to get a bottle of water. While he was waiting in line, I went over to the medicated area and checked that out. On the way back, I asked a worker if there were drinking fountains anywhere, and he pointed to the food area and said we had to buy it. I don't know if that's true, but I did not see any drinking fountains or public access fountains anywhere. If this had been a warmer day than it was, that could have caused some, I think, significant issues. And this next piece is really most events are guilty of this, but pricing was the typical event gouging prices. $3 for a bottle of water and $7 for a hot dog and fries. Now, come on, High Times, you could have set a precedent here and not tried to gig people, your captive audience, for food. Water bottles could have been sold for $1 and still been lightly profitable. So that left kind of a bad taste in my mouth. Hot dog was pretty good, but overall, I just think, why treat this, why be the same as like a football event or anything like that? Don't take advantage of your customers. Now, it was interesting last night. The reason I'm doing this a day late is I wanted to cool down a little bit. I was pretty upset about the whole event. I mean, so I just didn't want to do the video when I was ticked off. So yesterday, somebody posted on my Facebook, a guy named John posted a picture, I think was taken by the Westward cannabis critic, of the venue after the aftermath yesterday. And they just abandoned the place. And if anybody else has any information, if this was not true, but it looks like they just abandoned the place and left it trashed. And the picture is up on your screen right now. And that to me really kind of sums up how High Times and this venue treated its customers and the community. They just came in, played a money grab, and got out. I mean, again, they overbooked it, and it looks like they really didn't clean up after themselves after they left. So I find that inexcusable. If anybody has any more information that if they actually did clean up, I'd like to know. But right now it looks like they just cut and ran after the event. And I'm sure they'll be finger pointing that, oh, it was the Exto Event Center that was responsible for cleanup, or no, I don't know how the contract was written, but anyways, that should have been cleaned up. So as you may have guessed from this mini rant, that I was left with a pretty bad impression of the event, and it just smacked again of one big money grab by High Times and whoever else was sponsoring it. There's little thought to the comfort of their customers, and it just shows that even geezers can be taken in by the hype. I'm never going to go back to one of these events sponsored by High Times. I was very disappointed in what happened. I'd also like to mention I posted a video a few days ago on the 420 rally. Me and my other geezer 2.0, 2.5 I guess. We went to the 420 rally on Saturday, and I think it was a better run event. I mean, yes, it was, you know, marred by the shooting at the end, but there was staff everywhere with green shirts picking up trash. There were restrooms clearly marked where they were, and they had lots of them. So overall, I thought it was a better run event, and it was free. So I know there was a shooting, and probably next year they're going to require pack searching and stuff like that, which is going to slow down access. But overall, it was a much better experience than the event where I paid $37.50 for a ticket. All right. That's it for now. I just also would like to mention that my next video, I'd mentioned a couple of videos ago that I was looking for some of that R4 high CBD cannabis from the Greenworks dispensary, and I was successful in getting some, and I'm currently in the process of writing a review of that and should have it in by the end of this week, Friday or Saturday. All right, that's it for now. Goodbye, and stay medicated.